I'm about to leave camp. It is 8:50 on the 25th. Today is a short day compared to yesterday, but longer than my first two. It's 10.8 miles. I think that's right. Maybe 10.2 to Bear Creek Camp. There are some steep but short elevation climbs, but overall much less elevation today than in the past. So I'm hoping that'll give my legs a little bit of a break. Unfortunately, the first climb is right here, straight up the hill to get back to the Foothills Trail. So I'm not looking forward to that, but might as well warm up, right? All right, I'm about an hour into my hike this morning, and I believe this is the Thompson River. I should be crossing it on a steel bridge in a few minutes, I would expect. But I'll get oriented on my map and figure out where my landmarks are, how far I've come, how far I have to go. I know that one of my bad climbs of the day is going to follow climbing up out of this river valley. Well, I don't know the name of this stream. It's a pretty little one. And it merited a bridge, and because it's downhill, it merited traction. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful creek down here, beautiful little hollow. Looks like the woods are beginning to open up on the far side. So, pretty soon, I think I should be hitting the North Carolina line. We'll see. So you know how things kind of fade together on the trail? I'm at the turnoff for Hilliard Falls. I will not be partaking of the 3/10 of a mile uphill at this point in the day. 2 hours and almost a half into my hike this morning. Come about 3 miles, mountain miles. So I'm averaging about half hour per mile, 2 miles an hour, which isn't great, but it's sustainable, and that's the important part. So I'm going to put some more Propel, refill my water from my full water bottle from camp this morning. And I know I keep thinking in my mind I'm close to the North Carolina line. No, I passed the North Carolina line a long time ago. What I'm looking for today is a gate with a gravel road somewhere, the 36.1 mile mark, that essentially means in 1/10 of a mile. Is that right? No, 36.1. That's the halfway point, is that gate. So that's what I'm looking for today. Well, looking at these maps, I was reading Spur Trail to Hilliard Falls, more camping near waterfall, 36.5. That means I've already crossed the halfway point, which I recall now was a metal bar across a gate, just the way it described, but I wasn't thinking about that because it was part of the logging road complex. So I'm more than halfway done. Hot damn. That's a sense of accomplishment. All right. I'm going to battle on. This is the Bear Creek campsite, and I've decided, since it is 12:10, it's going to be my lunch spot. Really open and spacious, beautiful place. You could hang hammocks here, no problem. Obviously lots of tent options. A nice fire pit over here. I don't know if they've hung bear cables or not. Let's see what it says over here. I think I got a little toe first aid I need to attend to with some Luco tape. So I'll check that out as well. Okay, hikers go that way. Yep, Bear Creek campsite. It's beautiful. All right, and that's the way it continues. This must be the other end of the logging road. See, they have these big machines that were going out as I was coming in. That's what I heard a while back. I didn't stop and film that, but I heard major earth moving equipment, so I knew there had to be some access point. Don't really know what they did, but this is a really clean, really nice campsite. So I'm going to convince myself I need to eat and drink a bunch of water, go from there. I think there's a butterfly on my shoulder. I'm hoping you can see all the butterflies that are flying around here at this camp. I think I just had one on my shoulder a moment ago. There's another one over there. I know they like sweaty shirts. When I was in Costa Rica, I had them land on me and drink the sweat out of my shirt, and that's what I think they were doing a moment ago. But they're beautiful. This is my favorite campsite that I've seen, this Bear Creek campground. Highly recommended if you're in this area and if it works out for your own trip. It doesn't for mine. This is kind of a cool rock here with a tree growing out of it. I didn't film much on the forest road, or any really. But now I'm descending down to the horse pasture river, and I'm going to stop filming so that I can hold on to this railing. This apparently is widely regarded as a halfway point. I was mistaken. Math is not my thing. When through hiking, this river crossing is widely considered the halfway point of the Thru-Hills Trail. It is not, though. It's at 40.2. So really the halfway point should have been what? 38 would be 76. And then it's 0.2, 76.2, so 38.1. So somewhere along that logging road was the halfway point. So I'm beyond the halfway point at this point. Oh, I got a suspension bridge ahead of me. Another 1.1 miles ahead. And 2.4 miles ahead, I will enter Bear Creek, which will have a large camping spot to the right. Looking forward to that. Hey, I am working my way out of the horse pasture river valley. And I just wanted to pause to comment on a couple things. The river itself is very different from either the Whitewater or the Chattooga. It was very slow and lazy and deep where we crossed it. There were some rapids up north, but apparently it's navigable up to that point. There was a family there, a young kid, maybe 9, a girl, maybe 13 or 14, and older gentleman who appeared to be their grandfather. And he had set up a camp on the banks of the horse pasture and had a canoe. So I guess they canoed up the river and have been camping out. And the girl was in the middle of the bridge eating lunch on a table, and she was drying everything out that got wet from the rainstorm yesterday. And what was nice about it was just the nature of the encounter. I approached her and I said, "Excuse me, may I get past?" And she said, "Sure." And she explained that they were drying things out. And then she moved the table to the side, and I went past her. And I guarantee you, after 4 days of sweat, I don't smell nice. But the only thing she said was, "Good luck on finishing your trip." And it was kind of hard to explain, but it's just the kind of thing I needed today as I'm facing my last climb before I descend to my camp for the day. To have those words in my mind, you know, from a stranger I've never met before, but who just wished me well, means a lot. So be nice to people if you have the chance. This is what's ahead. more stairs, but in a woodland environment, and more typically Foothills Trail, which means ups and downs, but with some breaks. Well, I'm still climbing the horse pasture river to bear camp part. It goes on forever. But this is a pretty cool bridge that somebody built out here because of this chasm that you would have to cross somehow otherwise. You can see the trail over there that I came through. So I'm appreciative. I still got an uphill. So I got this. I gotta go. I guess there are compensations for climbing this far up. I see down there water, and that may be Lake Chicasi, and that may be the horse pasture. But there's definitely water down there. I don't know if y'all can see that. And I got a vista. So I guess there's some benefits to climbing up high. It's downhill, and it's also a forest road. So here's the thing. I was pushing, I was tired, I was exhausted. I stopped what turned out to be right below the top of the peak because I knew I had to climb a steep incline again. And I came out on the forest road, and instantly my spirits lifted. And I was like, yes, because I knew it would go downhill, and it was wide and it was open. So if you've been hiking as I have on these narrow little footpaths and really mossy, wet, drippy kind of places, it's nice to have a change of pace. I mean, those are beautiful, they're cool. Earlier today I was on a forest path and in places it got sunny and hot. But I just can't tell you how happy I am to be on this. This is literally my downhill climb to my campsite for the day. And I'll get in sometime in the 4 o'clock hour, and that'll give me at least 5 hours in camp to set up, to dry things out, to maybe wash clothes even, to wash myself. That would feel great. So I'm excited. Oh, I just want to go say too, if you're wondering about, oh, I could never do a 76.2 mile hike. Well, I don't know if I can. I haven't finished it yet. But I'm 40 some miles into it. And what I'll say is, it's all about the games that you can play with yourself in terms of your mind. Oh, somebody tell me, are those chanterelles? I think they are. Anyway, you have to battle for the littlest things. You have to keep your incentives ahead. If the trail's going up, you look for the flat spot. If you have an unrelenting down, you know that eventually there's going to be water in the bottom. So I have a little bit of an uphill here, but I really think it's going to be a dippy-do that's going to pull me down on the other side in just a second. All right, I'll see you when I'm in camp. Well, I believe these are going to be my digs for the night. I do have lots of water, so my dream of washing could happen. I don't have many tree options. I think these two will work, even though that one looks really scraggly. I don't see any widowmakers. Oh, look at this. Beautiful pathway down to the water there, too. That's probably where I'll go and get it. Okay. I'm happy. Unlike yesterday, it's 4:25. I'm in camp. Skies are pretty clear. This is going to work. And I think there's enough dead wood I could have a fire if I wanted to. All right, we'll see how it goes. Well, hello. Let me catch you up. I don't know if you can tell, but I have washed my hair. I took a monkey bath by the creek and then rinsed off. Amazing, amazing how good that feels. Day 4, so I had 4 days worth of hiking grime on there and 40 some miles. I've got to look at all of that and see. Over here is my gear explosion. The bees and flies and everything else are fascinated by it because I have sweat so much into that backpack and everything else that it just has lots of salt that attracts them. Over here you can see that the Blackbird XLC is hanging, and I think that's pretty close to an ideal hang. I think that's about 30 degrees, so we'll see how it is tonight. Airing the old La Sportiva shoes out, and they've done well. But I've not just been sitting on my duff, although I'm going to do that for a while now. In addition to those things, look at this beautiful thing here. I did laundry. I have washed the shirt, the pants, the underwear, a towel. I'm drying off my tarp. It's my poncho slash tarp from yesterday. And I rinsed out my Injinji socks. My toe socks have been the ones that have done absolutely the best for my feet. First 2 days with the right socks, double layer socks, I think because they're a little too big, they slip around on me and haven't been really great for my toes. So those socks have done well. I've worn them the last 2 days and that's been good for me. But I wanted to rinse them out and get some salt and stuff like that out of them before I moved on. So we're going to see about this. I hope to just jump back into these clothes in the morning, and hopefully they'll be dry. I don't know what the weather is. Right now it's pretty peerless. It is 5:18. I easily have a couple hours of daylight left. So, a little gear explosion I will be neatening up. I need to think about, I'm just going to sort through my food and figure out what's heaviest and eat what is heaviest tonight and tomorrow, because those are my 2 shorter days, so that on my last days I have the least amount of weight. Day 4 is kind of crazy. I've reached this point, you know, I'm more than halfway now, and before I got here, I had this feeling that, you know, until I did yesterday, I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to finish this trail. And then today, you know, was hard, and that uphill, that little kicker at the end, that little twist right before it went downhill for real, that was cruel. But at the same time, I'm feeling good about it. But I'm also getting that point in the trip where I'm also anxious to see my loved ones, to see my family, my wife, my dogs. You know, you can't beat family, and sometimes being away from them is what sort of teaches you that. But every step on the trail now is one step closer to them, and I remember that too. That's a huge source of motivation when I'm tired. Here you go. The butterflies are joining the crowd of being fascinated by what's going on. I may have to change into a clean shirt just so that the bugs don't bother me. All right, I'm going to check in with you later. I got to figure some things out. Day 4 dinner. Trailside bean and cheese burrito from Packet Gourmet. Let me tell you, this is delicious. I threw out my corn tortillas because I was an idiot. I was thinking, corn tortillas would taste good. They do. They also break apart when you're backpacking. So you got to take flour tortillas. I forgot those. This would be good with those, but it's okay. It's delicious by itself, and just want to say that. This is my trash bag. I have 2 sticks of cheese in there that got, a little too oily for my tastes. This is leftover food bag. So as each day goes by, I have a little bit of leftover food, which will help me, you know, calibrate for future backpacking trips. Or my hunger might increase over the next couple days and I might eat more. So we'll just have to see. I've got 3 more nights out here. Doesn't look like there's a drop in the sky. I do see some clouds picking up. I really don't think that's going to amount to anything though. So I'm hoping down here by the creek I will have a restful night as I did last night. I slept really well last night. Didn't have a good hang. there's a joke on YouTube about that, but it was a little bit beyond my control, because right when I walked into camp, really, really late, exhausted, deadbeat tired, got up my hammock, and before I could adjust it or anything like that, rain just started pouring down, so I barely got my tarp over the top of it. And at that point, it was a question of just hunkering down for the night, covering up stuff. I just left all my stuff out. I threw a poncho over my bag and my other stuff that was sitting out, and crawled in my hammock. Excuse me. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm tired. Crawled in my hammock and went to sleep. I was out. Since the first night, I have never gotten up to use the bathroom in the night. I've just been so physically exhausted. I've slept really well. So that's a good thing. What I'm doing over here is I'm gradually packing stuff up. You see the big op sack? There's no real tree around here that would be suitable for a bear hang. So what I'm going to do is put all my food and anything with a scent in it in that big op sack. And I'll just position that kind of away from where I am. Now, I know that all of my material, my backpack, my ribs pack, all of that kind of stuff, it's covered in sweat. And the shirt I'm wearing is too. And bees have been coming and just feasting on it. You think I'll sleep well tonight? Bees have been coming and feasting on it. And so consequently, I don't know if that is becoming an animal attractant too, because it has so much sweat soaked into it. I don't know what you do about that though. So I may try to hang my pack on a tree, kind of away from where I am, or I may just move it someplace where I could see it if something were to happen to it. So that if some critter came along, I could fuss at it and try to chase it away in the night. Anyway, I'm feeling pretty good. Having my little sponge bath definitely, sort of improved me psychologically. When I go to sleep tonight, I'll be quote-unquote clean when I'm crawling into my sleeping bag. And that's worked really well too. That's a Space Cowboy 45. What I do is I kind of keep it in the side pocket. There's a shelf, so-called, in the War Bonnet XLC. And I keep it in my shelf until it begins to cool off a little bit, and then I'll just kind of pull it over the torso just slightly, leave my legs out a little bit, and then as the night cools off, I'll eventually tuck myself all the way into it. So it's been worked, really perfectly. It's been down in the 60s at night, which has felt really good. And I've been hiking and sweating in 70 degrees. The physical effort is just making me soak through my backpack straps and stuff early in the morning. So this would definitely be more pleasant if you're thinking about doing it in early spring. In fall, it would be beautiful. Some of the vistas you would be able to see so much better once some of the leaves have fallen. But I'm enjoying it. It's beautiful. In the fall and the early spring, I'm not likely to do what I did tonight, which was get naked and hop in the creek and give myself a little sponge bath, which really, really felt good. So yeah, that's just a little bit of an update. Finished up my dinner here, and then I'm going to sort through all my gear, and so I can just kind of sit out and relax for a little bit and just chill, not think about anything. And as you can see, I'm already tired, but I'll wait a couple hours till nightfall before I crawl into my hammock and go to bed. So I will check in with you later.